Every guy thinks he knows how to compliment a woman. You're beautiful. You've got a great smile. You look amazing tonight. Sure, those might earn you a polite nod, maybe even a thank you. But they won't make her pause. Mid-scroll, they won't make her replay your words in the dark, wondering why they hit different, because here's what most men never figure out: there's a type of compliment that doesn't just get heard, it gets felt. It slips past her defenses, bypasses the ego, and lands straight in the part of her that's starving to be seen, not for how she looks, but for who she is. These compliments are rare, not because men can't give them, but because no one ever taught them how. I call them forbidden compliments, because when used right, they're too powerful for the average man. They create instant emotional intimacy. They awaken her hunger to be recognized, not just desired. They stir a curiosity in her that becomes obsession, because when you drop one of these lines, you're no longer just another guy in her inbox. You're the one who sees her. You're the man who feels dangerous. In the most magnetic way, you become a mystery, and she'll chase that mystery. She'll wonder, what did he mean by that? Why did it feel different? Who is he, really? That's the power of what's felt but unexplained, and that's exactly what these compliments deliver. So, if you're done blending in, done recycling the same tired lines every other guy throws out, and you're ready to unlock a deeper level of attraction, the kind that sticks long after you've gone silent, this video is your playbook. I'm going to give you 3 forbidden compliments that flip the switch. Say them with calm confidence and clear presence, and you'll never have to chase again. She'll lean in. She'll open up, and she'll wonder where a man like you has been hiding all her life. Welcome to Stoic Paradox, where we don't chase validation, we embody presence. Where we don't spit lines, we speak language that moves people. In a world drowning in fake charm, shallow praise, and surface attraction, this is your edge, because real attraction, it's not about how often you text. It's not your cologne, and it sure as hell isn't the same 3 compliments every guy repeats without thinking. The kind of compliment that makes her obsess over you, it's rare, because the kind of awareness it comes from is even rarer. A lot of men think attraction is about proving they're good enough. So they flex, they brag, they hope she notices. But the men women remember, the ones who linger in her thoughts, don't try to impress. They connect. It's not about smooth lines or clever rehearsals. It's about truth. Real words that hit something deeper. Compliments that don't just make her smile, they make her pause. They make her wonder, how do you see me that way? Why do your words feel different? What do you notice that others miss? These aren't tricks. They're not manipulation. They're reflections from a man who sees past the surface and speaks from a deeper place. And when you speak from that place, something shifts. Her walls lower. Her curiosity grows. And attraction takes root, powerful, unexplainable, and real. So, if you're done being just another guy trying to impress, and you're ready to become the man who speaks straight to her feminine core, stick around. Because I'm about to share 3 forbidden compliments, lines most men will never understand. But the man who does, he becomes unforgettable. Of forbidden compliment. #1, there's something about the way you think, it's rare. This isn't your standard compliment. It doesn't shout desire, it whispers something far more potent, understanding. You're not commenting on her looks. You're noticing her mind. And for a woman who's used to being reduced to her appearance, that hits like lightning. Most guys stay surface level. Face, body, outfit, basic praise. Quickly forgotten, but when you say, there's something about the way you think, it's rare, everything changes. She pauses. Something flickers in her. She feels seen, not for how she looks, but for how she thinks. And whether she's a quiet introvert, a fiery extrovert, a deep thinker, or a playful flirt, every woman secretly craves that kind of recognition. With this one line, you plant a seed. A whisper in her mind that says, there's more to you. Then they see. And I see it. Suddenly, you're no longer just a guy. You're a mirror. A mystery. A man who sees the woman beneath the performance. And that is intoxicating. She'll start replaying your words, trying to decode your insight. And that curiosity? It becomes addictive. Forbidden compliment #2OU. Feels safe to be around. Not because you're quiet, but because you're real. Let's slow down here. In a world where women are constantly judged, interrupted, sexualized, and expected to perform emotionally, physically, socially, emotional safety becomes sacred. Most men don't even realize how tense or guarded women are in everyday interactions. And it's not entirely their fault. Culture has shaped this dynamic. But when a woman feels safe in your presence, not because you're passive or silent, but because you're grounded, present, and authentic, everything changes. Your presence doesn't demand, it invites. It doesn't pressure, it protects. And that kind of energy? It's what makes her let her guard down. And let you in. Sometimes, a simple compliment does more than flatter, it disarms. When you look a woman in the eye and say something like, there's something about the way you carry yourself, it feels real, grounded. I feel safe around. That, you're not just pointing out her charm, you're recognizing her essence. You're not rewarding passivity or politeness. You're appreciating her authenticity. And in doing so, you shift everything, because that kind of compliment, it cuts through the noise. It tells her, I see you. Not just how you look, but how you feel to be around. And here's the twist, by saying that she makes you feel safe, you flip the usual dynamic. Most men are out here trying to prove they're safe, worthy, trustworthy, but you're already whole. You're not performing. You're present, and that presence is rare. Emotionally rare. It builds instant intimacy, without trying to seduce, and ironically, that's what seduces her, and not the words. Not the charm, but the calm. The insight, the unexpected sense of safety she feels around you. That's the part she won't forget. Now, let's talk about the second forbidden compliment. You're not like everyone else. And I don't say that lightly. Now be careful. Every woman has heard a watered-down version of this, but when you say it slowly, directly, and mean it, everything changes. It's not about the words. It's about the way you deliver them, with stillness, with presence, with conviction. You're drawing a line in the sand. You're saying, I've seen what average looks like, and you're beyond it. Even if she doubts you, she'll want to believe you, and if your behavior backs it up, if you treat her with depth, curiosity, and emotional maturity, she will start seeing herself through your eyes, and that's when the obsession begins, not with you, but with the version of herself you reflect, the one that feels seen, understood, different, valuable. Let's step back for a second. This isn't about pickup lines. This isn't some shortcut to fake confidence. This is something deeper, something most men never realize. You didn't just learn what to say, you learned why it works. These 3 forbidden compliments, there's something about the way you think, it's rare. You feel safe to be around, not because you're quiet, but because you're real. You're not like everyone else, and I don't mean that lightly. They work because they recognize what most overlook: her depth or her presence, her truth. You're not complimenting her looks. You're reflecting her essence, and that changes everything, because most men are too loud, too eager, too much noise, but the grounded few, they move slower, speak with intention, let their silence do the talking, and when that kind of man gives a compliment, it lands it, sticks it, melts the walls she's spent years building, because in that moment, she's not just a face, a figure, a profile. She's seen, felt, respected, desired, not for her appearance, but for her presence, and that's what makes you unforgettable. So, if this resonated with you, if you're done with surface level games, if you're ready to connect from a place of strength, calm, and clarity, welcome to Stoic Paradox. Here, we don't chase attention. We master presence. We don't memorize tricks. We sharpen awareness. Every video here is designed to give you a mental edge, not just with women, but in leadership, energy, and how you walk into a room without saying a word and still get noticed. So, if you're the kind of man who'd rather be respected than liked, who knows that true game is played in stillness, in intention, in depth, then subscribe. Turn on that bell, because in this noisy world, you have a choice: be part of the noise, or become the signal. And here at Tell Me Stoic, we don't just speak to the surface, we speak to the soul. Stay grounded, stay rare, and we'll see you in the next one.